Now at 11, tornadoes touched down in Tampa Bay. We now know 3 confirmed twisters caused catastrophic damage as 2 massive storms merged into one earlier today. Homes mangled, power lines down, and enormous trees ripped right out of the ground.
Right now, heavy rain still falling in our area, winds whipping up. This video right here coming out of Green Acres tonight. But hold on, the severe weather threat isn't over, at least, Maxine, not yet.
Yeah, CBS 12's Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen joins us now with the Friday forecast that'll have you holding on to your hat. Aaron.
That's true. Boy, I tell you what, guys, we dodged a big bullet here in our area. Severe storms to our north and to our south. Here's what our radar looks like now. Just some light to moderate rainfall across Palm Beach County. Expect that to continue through at least midnight, maybe even stretching into 1 a.m. This is the line of the storms now moving into Grand Bahama Islands, getting set to hit Freeport, and this stretches as far south as western Cuba. This is still having far-reaching impacts, but the worst of it is over for our area for now. One element of our weather today that will stay with us tomorrow are strong winds, gusting in the 40 to 60 mile per hour range. So wind advisory has been posted for Florida through 1 o'clock Saturday morning. Check out these wind gusts we're expecting even through the early morning hours, 40 to 45 mile per hour gusts along the coast. We advance this out through 5 p.m. Look at that, close to 60 mile an hour gusts expected for Vero Beach. I'll tell you what that means for boating conditions tomorrow coming up.
Well, check this out. The powerful winds caused a tent to collapse at a Home Depot in Stewart. 2 workers were injured and the tent landed on several cars. The workers, though, are expected to be okay. Now, as the storm makes its way up the East Coast tonight, it's causing a travel headache. This is a look at the roads in North Carolina where the rain is really coming down. Airports are also being affected tonight. This is a live look now at FlightAware's misery map where you can see hundreds of flights are delayed and dozens more have been canceled.
Tonight, only on CBS 12 News, a heartless crime. Watch as deputies say a stranger lures, then steals a puppy. Look at this, right from the family home in Green Acres. Now, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office is blasting the video you just saw all over social media tonight.
All in hopes that someone will find the stolen puppy and catch the cold-blooded culprit who took her. CBS 12's Luli Ortiz is live in West Palm Beach tonight. And Luli, you spoke exclusively to the dog's owner, and she's got a message for the thief.
Maxine, Paul, little Luna has been missing for 4 days now. The dog's owner is Stephanie Padilla. She tells me her 2 little girls at home won't stop crying. Now this mother, she is frantic to get Luna back, especially in time for Christmas.
No estamos.
Estefania Padilla, who is originally from Honduras, describes this 4-month-old brown and white pit bull mix as a member of their family.
Muy triste.
This mother of 2 says it makes her sick to her stomach every time she looks at this video captured on her home security camera.
Queremos que ella regrese y si alguien.
The ruthless crime happened last Sunday. Watch this video. You can see 2 people walking in front of her home along Fleming Avenue near 1st Street in Green Acres. Padilla's dogs, Luna and Liz, behind the fence. Focus on the person with a yellow shirt, dark shorts, a baseball hat, and a backpack.
Le abrieron el portón.
Sheriff's deputies say the person purposely opened the gate to let Luna escape. Watch as Luna follows a person behind the tree. As soon as they step out of camera view, Padilla says that's when they snatched her.
Que por favor no.
Padilla is asking the person who did this to please bring Luna home. And tomorrow, the Padilla family plans to pass out missing dog flyers all around that neighborhood. We're live tonight outside the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. I'm Luli Ortiz, CBS 12 News.
Thank you, Luli. And you can share the dog's photo on social media. Just head to our Facebook page or our website, cbs12.com.
New tonight, a sole survivor breaking her silence. The teenager pulled from the fiery records in a crash in Fort Pierce after watching 5 of her friends die.
They were out on Black Friday just like millions of others across the country, but their shopping trip turned tragic when a man crashed into the back of their car going nearly 100 miles an hour. CBS 12's Vincent Crivelli spoke exclusively with the only person who survived that crash. He joins us live now in Fort Pierce with the heartbreaking story. Vince?
Paul and Maxine, this is a very tragic story. This 14-year-old girl was out driving with some friends to buy Christmas presents. That's when authorities say a man speeding almost 100 miles per hour crashed into the back of them. They say he never even touched his brakes.
That's when we was on the phone with each other.
14-year-old Ariana Stanberry shows us a video of her best friend, 17-year-old Alexis Cheney.
I'll never see her again.
Stanberry, Cheney, and 4 others were in a catastrophic car accident in Fort Pierce the day after Thanksgiving.
Had to watch my friend die.
Stanberry is the lone survivor. Authorities say 21-year-old Tanner Dashner was drunk 3 times over the legal limit, speeding 97 miles per hour in a 30-mile zone when he smashed into the SUV carrying Stanberry and her friends.
And I looked back to the back seat and I just saw a bunch of fire.
Petrified and in shock, Stanberry called out to her friends.
I said, "Can somebody please answer me?" Nobody would answer me. So that's when I screamed for help.
She realized she was the only one still alive. Then she saw a man come to her window.
And that's when he got a hammer. He hit the window and it buzzed, and he grabbed me out. And when I tried to go back to help the others, the car had blew up.
Stanberry called her mother as she processed what just happened.
I was like, I don't want to die. And I just watched my friend die.
Authorities arrested Dashner, who is the son of a St. Lucie County fire captain.
Happy that he's in jail, and I hope he's staying there forever.
Her rationale is simple. She says if she can't see her best friend again, why should Dashner see the outside of a jail cell?
I have to deal with it for the rest of my life.
Stanberry says there's no moving forward after losing her best friend. Meanwhile, Dashner is locked up behind me. He's charged with 5 counts of DUI manslaughter and 5 counts of vehicular homicide. A judge set his bond at $7.5 million. Reporting live in Fort Pierce, Vincent Crivelli, CBS 12 News.
Tonight, the 5 families torn apart by this tragedy are preparing to spend Christmas without their loved ones. The crash killed 17-year-old Alexis Cheney, 16-year-old Anthony Martin, 21-year-old Anthony Victor, 21-year-old Darian Douglas, and 27-year-old Keaton Tillett.
In just hours from now, an FAA advisory going into effect for President Trump's holiday vacation here to Palm Beach. However, tonight we've just learned the president will not come to the Winter White House. That's if the government shuts down. Now, the president expected to be in our area beginning tomorrow through January 7th. We'll keep you posted. Right now, the clock is ticking. We're about 24 hours away from that looming government shutdown. And tonight, though, the House approved funding for President Trump's border wall in legislation that pushes the government closer to a partial government shutdown. But that $5.7 billion request will have to pass the Senate, and that is highly unlikely. More than 800,000 federal workers will face furloughs or be forced to work without pay if a resolution is not reached before funding expires at midnight tomorrow. And tonight, one Florida man is taking funding the border wall into his own hands. Air Force veteran Brian Kolfage launched this GoFundMe page on Sunday. So far, as you can see, it's raised a little more than $10 million. Meantime, Defense Secretary Jim Mattis stepping down from his post. That's right. Mattis says the president deserves to have a Secretary of Defense whose views are better aligned with his. The announcement coming one day after the president surprised U.S. allies and members of Congress by planning to withdraw troops from Syria.
New tonight, a billionaire sex offender from South Florida has settled another lawsuit. This time with a woman who claimed that she was recruited to be his sex slave more than a year ago. Several dozen women have come forward alleging they were lured to Jeffrey Epstein's Palm Beach estate where he engaged in sex acts with them. Now, it's unclear how much the victim was paid. Jeffrey Epstein once partied with Donald Trump and former President Bill Clinton. New tonight, the death toll in the Parkland massacre could have been a lot higher. That's according to a new report that says confessed gunman Nicholas Cruz still had 188 live rounds when he abandoned his AR-15 and blended in with students running for their lives. Police collected 70 shell casings on the freshman building's first floor and a total of 140 throughout Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. Cruz faces the death penalty if convicted in the mass shooting that killed 17 people. Also tonight, silent panic alarms could soon be mandatory in all public school buildings under a new measure filed in the Senate. The proposal, called Alyssa's Law, is named after 14-year-old Alyssa Al-Hadef. She's just one of the 17 victims. The proposal would require each building to be equipped with a panic alarm for use in non-fire evacuations, lockdowns, or active shooter situations.
Tonight, a man who murdered his parents and then threw a party with their bodies in the next room will spend the rest of his life behind bars for the second time. That's right. Tyler Hadley, previously sentenced to life in prison, but a change in the law required a review of that sentence. This time around today, Hadley's lawyer fought for less time, but a judge called his original sentence the right one.
If Tyler Hadley doesn't deserve life in prison, then no one does. So we're extremely pleased. I pray to God that the Hadley family finds some peace.
Hadley's attorney has 30 days to appeal. If not, he'll be up for review in 2035.
Assaulted on her front doorstep, the alarming attack in an exclusive D.C. neighborhood just steps away from where a local woman was stabbed to death while out on her evening jog. Tonight, the shocking video and desperate search to catch the suspects.
Cruise ship catastrophe. A young man, I should say, killed after jumping off a cruise ship tonight. The heartbreaking reason why his family says it was not intentional.
Plus, Amazon Alexa eavesdropping? Thousands of personal recordings sent to the wrong person and what the retail giant is blaming it on tonight.
And tracking a change in our weather or what's following the front, your weekend forecast is coming up.
Alpha Media radio stations, proud partners of the CBS 12 News Network, the one to turn to. CBS 12 News at 11.
Followed, attacked, and then violently robbed. Tonight, police in Washington, D.C. are looking for two suspects after they say they assaulted a woman in the same D.C. neighborhood where a Wellington woman was stabbed to death in September while out jogging. That woman was just arriving at the entrance of her apartment. In fact, she appeared to be looking for her keys when the two suspects came up from behind her and attacked. Surveillance video shows the moment police say two suspects followed this woman home to her Washington, D.C. neighborhood. The same neighborhood where Wellington native Wendy Martinez was violently stabbed to death in September. You can see the woman walking to her door with a purse and bag in hand as the two men follow her. She sits down her bag, and as she appears to look for her keys, the suspects rush up behind her and attack. Police say they punched her in the back of the head, knocking her to the ground before kicking her in the face multiple times. Here's a closer look at those suspects. Police say then took off with the woman's purse that had credit cards, cash, and a tote bag inside. And tonight, Crime Solvers of Washington, D.C. is offering a reward of up to $1,000 to anyone who can provide information that leads to the arrest of the suspects in that video. Paul?
Let's hope they find him, Maxine. Thank you. New developments tonight about a man who went overboard on a Carnival cruise ship Sunday. Tonight, that man's family says the 22-year-old lived with autism and may have just wanted to go for a swim. Luke Renner went on a Mexico-bound cruise with a nonprofit organization that works with disabled adults. Now, the cruise line says he climbed over a deck rail, possibly thinking that he was going swimming. Right now, security measures at a Boca Raton synagogue under review after a bomb scare there today. Officials forced to evacuate the synagogue on North Montoya Circle after the rabbi says they received some type of suspicious letter in the mail. Two schools on the property also placed on lockdown for several hours. The rabbi did not say why that letter looked odd. Caught on camera, quick thinking hell put a would-be robber behind bars in Jacksonville. A clerk says the man came in, demanded cash, and that's when another employee locked the guy, get this, inside the store, and the employees then hid behind a barrier. The video shows the man trying different doors. Yeah, no luck before police arrive and arrest him.
A surprising glitch reveals an Amazon Alexa user was able to eavesdrop on some 1,700 private voice recordings from a stranger. Now, Amazon's blaming the situation on a human error by the company. It all started when the person asked to listen back to recordings of his own activities made by Alexa. But instead, Amazon sent him a link to more than 1,000 audio files from a complete stranger. Amazon says it has now resolved the issue. Update now, that's the warning from Microsoft tonight, urging its users to update to the latest version of Internet Explorer. Now, this comes after a Google security engineer uncovered a serious flaw that could let hackers hijack your computers. It affects Internet Explorer versions 9, 10, and 11, as well as all Windows versions.
Well, it is the bark. Yes, the bark that saved Christmas. Isn't that nice? New video showing the moments a Wisconsin family's dog scared off a would-be burglar. See that guy run? The couple was asleep when a man broke into the house and started scoping out the Christmas gifts. And that's when Oliver, yes, Oliver, there he is, sprung into action, chasing the guy out of the house. The couple calls Oliver their little hero.
So cute.
Yeah, so cute, and I'm sure they had a great Christmas.
Yes.
All thanks to Oliver.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think Santa Claus is definitely going to pay Oliver a visit.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Actually, yeah, he's not here yet. I mean, I'm a month ahead. I'm in next year already.
You're a little bit ahead of yourself. That's okay.
As always, right?
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, things kind of settling down a little bit, and we definitely dodged a bullet, I would say, at least here in this area tonight.
Oh, you said it perfectly, Maxine. We definitely did. We had severe weather to our north with tornadoes and wind damage. We had severe weather to our south across Miami-Dade County, so we were right in between. And it wasn't all ugly today. Take a look at this photo that was sent to us by a viewer somewhere over Okeechobee, right? Somewhere over the rainbow. Looking good. Thank you. We appreciate you sharing your photos with us. Our storm track radar still seeing this line of showers and storms now getting set to move into Grand Bahama Island, but away from our area. And the heaviest of rain has ended for Palm Beach County, still tracking some light showers that will continue to move through about midnight, perhaps even as far as 1 to 2 a.m. But again, staying on the light side, the severe weather is over for now, but we are tracking our wind. And right now from the south-southwest at just 8 miles per hour with 64 degrees, but the wind is going to be picking up big time as we make our way through the day tomorrow. And in addition to that, some spotty showers throughout the day. So we're not quite finished with the rain. We're just finished with the heavy rain for now. So our Friday does hold to about a 20% chance we'll still pick up a few spotty showers. 100% chance you're going to notice the wind. Check this out. Our wind gusts topping out in the 40 to 60 mile per hour range throughout the afternoon and early evening tomorrow. This is Friday at 5 p.m. 57 mile per hour gusts forecast for Vero Beach, 53 Stewart, Jupiter, West Palm Beach, 51 mile an hour gusts from the west southwest for Delray Beach. So with that, the National Weather Service has issued a wind advisory. Goes into effect early tomorrow morning and lasts through the evening through Saturday 1 a.m. Just think of it as an all Friday and Friday night event. So what does that mean as far as being on the water? Well, not the greatest of conditions. A gale warning has already been issued through 4 a.m. Saturday. We're expecting the gusts in the 40 to almost 55 knot range. Those waves up to 13 feet, 15 in some isolated areas. And of course, the intracoastal waters are going to be rough, quite choppy. You want to avoid taking the boat out tomorrow. And our storm system that brought in some of those damaging winds today now lifting to the northeast. So if you're doing some traveling, perhaps, we are expecting just a few weather-related delays as that trough kind of cradling our storm system lifts along the eastern seaboard. So tomorrow, for the most part, really looking pretty good, especially if you're headed west. Atlanta, New York, and New Jersey expecting some light to moderate delays, improving conditions if you do have to fly out of Miami tomorrow. 69 degrees for a high, and that 20% chance for rain hangs on. Wind gusts again for West Palm, probably close to 40 miles per hour to our north, even stronger than that. Here's what we're expecting temperature-wise along the coast, close to 70 degrees, upper 60s for Wellington and Belle Glade, 70 Palm Beach Gardens, 69 Jupiter Farms, the same for Royal Palm Beach, Vero Beach at 65, 65 Fort Pierce, 64 is what you'll warm to in Okeechobee. And then as we look ahead to the weekend, drier, cooler air on the backside of this front, 66 for our Saturday, 71 on Sunday, and the wind also tapering off just about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's a look at the weekend, or where the weekend's always in view, your 7-day forecast. Once we get beyond Sunday, still looking clear on Monday with 75, warming to 77 for Christmas Day and almost 80 degrees the day after.
Here's a look at our Sky Team 12 drone shot of the day. This video from the Jupiter Lighthouse. Now here's a look at what's coming up on The Late Show.
Tonight on an all-new Cool Bear, don't miss Cartoon Muller, John C. Reilly, and Senator Jeff Flake.
That's right. Tonight I have Flake News.
CBS 12 News at 11.
It was a campaign promise from President Trump to withdraw U.S. troops from Syria as soon as possible. But his decision to do so is now being harshly questioned in Washington, with many saying the Islamic State may be bruised, They have not been beaten.
That's right. And tonight, our national correspondent, Christine Frizzell, takes a look at ISIS by the numbers.
Once deemed one of the greatest threats to this country, President Trump is now saying this about the so-called Islamic State.
We've beaten them, and we've beaten them badly. We've taken back the land, and now it's time for our troops to come back home.
But the numbers tell a different story. While the Islamic State has lost control of most territory in Iraq and Syria, a report by the Center for Strategic and International Studies shows at least 10 to 15,000 in the area, not to mention a steady increase of attacks planned by the group over the last few years.
What we see is a movement from conventional operations to guerrilla tactics, much like we see with the Taliban in Afghanistan.
Seth Jones, Transnational Threats Project Director with CSIS, says even more concerning is the number of other jihadi groups in the region, between 43 and 70,000.
Syria, according to our estimates, is the largest jihadist battlefield at the moment anywhere in the world right now.
On Capitol Hill, there's been a swift rebuke of the president's decision, both from longtime critics of the president's policies, but also from some of his closest allies.
To say they're defeated is an overstatement and is fake news.
This is a little bit like that moment when President Bush was on the aircraft carrier with the big banner that said mission accomplished, when in fact the fight went on in Iraq for years.
Some concerned about an ISIS reboot.
It's going to rejuvenate ISIS. They're going to recruit around the world based on this.
But at least one U.S. lawmaker is backing the president.
For the first time in my lifetime, we have a president with the courage to declare victory and bring the troops home.
A battered terror group considered defeated by some, with many others warning now is not the time to retreat. In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
Be sure to stay tuned to The Late Show with Stephen Colbert right after CBS 12 News at 11. Tonight's guest is John C. Reilly. We'll be right back with your Wake Up Weather.
If you see breaking news happen or have a news tip, call the CBS 12 News Breaking News Tip Line at 561-881-0796.
With one last check of your weather?
Yeah, another look at our storm tracker radar. Light showers continue for our area. The heaviest of rain is over for now. By the way, if you did happen to capture any photos of our weather today, we'd love to see them. Text the word weather to 44332. And here's a look at the 7-day forecast. By the way, happy winter solstice tomorrow, you guys. It's the first day of winter.
Right.
But you knew that.
Fancy meteorological terms.
You knew that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then over the weekend, clear skies, drying out. 66 Saturday, 71 Sunday, 75 Monday. By Christmas Day, we are boasting 77 sweet degrees.
Oh, wonderful. All right. Aaron, Maxine, take a look at this. Whoa! That is one big gator. Photoshopped? I don't think so. Trappers caught this 12-foot, 500-pound alligator yesterday near Tampa Bay. It took them more than 2 hours and a long game of tug-of-war to get the gator to shore. That giant reptile is now at an alligator farm on the East Coast. Wow. And you know, ladies, the largest alligator ever caught measured 15 feet long and weighed in at a staggering 1,100 pounds.
Oh.
Pulled out of a river in Alabama.
I feel like they're getting bigger and bigger and
They
bigger.
are getting
there
bigger
must be
and
something
bigger.
in the water.
But it also, you know, it also brings up the conversation about, you know, humans encroaching on their territory
space.
as well,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
The
Gotta
conversation
share with
goes
them.
on, right?
It does.
It does. All
Talk
right.
after the show.
All right. Thanks for joining us tonight. Of course, join Matt Lincoln and Terry Hornstein tomorrow beginning at 4:30 a.m.
Remember, the news is always on CBS12.com. Have a good night and stay dry.
Take care.